"What happened to your face, Grandma?" The recruit's laugh sliced through the air like a blade. A few others chuckled nervously, but most of the room froze. The woman he mocked, a U.S. Army general, decorated, respected, and feared, didn't flinch. She simply stared at him, the deep scar running from her cheekbone down to her jaw catching the fluorescent light. The silence that followed was suffocating. The recruit thought he was being clever. He thought mocking a scar was harmless, even funny. But the general slowly stepped forward, boots echoing on the polished floor. "Private," she said, her voice calm but sharp enough to cut steel, "do you think this scar makes me weak?" The laughter died instantly. No one dared answer. He swallowed hard, but pride pushed him on. "Just looks, I don't know, like you weren't ready for the fight." His words trembled, but they hung in the air, thick and cruel. Gasps rippled through the room. Everyone knew he'd gone too far. Everyone, except him. The general's eyes didn't leave his. She leaned in close, voice dropping low enough that only the recruits nearby could hear. "Do you know what they called me in the field?" she asked. He shook his head. The general straightened up, looked over the entire room, and said it aloud, "Widowmaker." The room froze. Every soldier there had heard the legend of Widowmaker, the call sign of a fearless officer who had led her unit out of impossible ambushes, someone who had never lost a single person under her command. She wasn't just a leader, she was a myth, and now that myth was standing right in front of them. The recruit's smirk vanished, his bravado shattered, but the general wasn't done. She turned to the entire formation and began to speak, not just to him, but to all of them. "You see this scar," she said, tracing it lightly with her finger. "I earned it in Kandahar, a night raid. We were ambushed by twice our number. I was the first one hit. Shrapnel tore my face apart. I could have stayed down. I could have let fear take me. But while I was bleeding, while I was half blind, I stood. I stood because 26 soldiers were counting on me. 26 lives, and not one of them died that night. Not one." Her voice rose, steady but powerful, like thunder that builds before it breaks. "This scar isn't weakness. This scar is proof. Proof that I bled so others wouldn't. Proof that I took the hit so my soldiers could see morning light." The room was silent. Recruits shifted uncomfortably, some lowering their eyes in shame, others staring at her with newfound awe. The recruit who had mocked her now looked like a child, pale, trembling, unable to meet her gaze. The general's face softened, just for a moment, as her eyes drifted to the far wall like she was looking back in time. "I wasn't always respected," she admitted quietly. "When I was young, people doubted me. They said I was too small, too soft, too fragile to lead. I fought every day to prove them wrong. Not with words, with action, with courage, with sacrifice." She turned back, her eyes like steel again. "And now you think a scar is something to laugh at? Then you have no idea what it means to wear this uniform." The recruit opened his mouth as if to apologize, but the general lifted a hand and silenced him instantly. "You don't get to speak. Not yet. You will earn that right by learning what respect is, not just for your leaders, but for every soldier who carries their wounds, visible or invisible. Those wounds are not shame. They are honor." Her words sank deep. Some recruits stood straighter, their jaws tight with respect. Others had tears they were trying hard to hide. The recruit who mocked her clenched his fists, shame burning through him like fire. He finally understood. The general let the silence stretch, then spoke the words that would echo in every heart present. "Never mock a scar. Scars are medals the skin wears. They are the map of survival. They are the proof that someone stood when others might have fallen." And then she did something no one expected. She walked directly up to the recruit, close enough that he had to look her in the eyes. Instead of anger, she offered her hand. "This army doesn't need cowards who laugh at pain," she said. "It needs soldiers who learn from it. Stand tall, private. Prove you're worth the uniform you wear." He hesitated, then slowly took her hand. His voice cracked as he whispered, "Yes, ma'am." The moment was electric. The recruits erupted, not in laughter this time, but in applause. A wave of respect filled the hall, crashing against the walls like thunder. Some clapped hard, others saluted, but every single one of them knew they had just witnessed something unforgettable. The general didn't smile. She simply nodded, as if to say, "Lesson learned." And as the echo of applause filled the room, her words lingered in the air like a promise. Scars are not weakness. Scars are strength. Before we end this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comments.